Hello and welcome. I am the Fiend, and today we're going to be playing Monsters of Little Haven. I obviously started it. The guy was narrating over it, so I turned him off, and I'm going to narrate for him because he's got like a really weird accent, and it's not from Massachusetts, so I'm going to do it for him. We are going to jump into the first chapter, so you can see there's multiple endings for this story. It's a story game. And there's some monsters here in this little town called Little Haven. Little town of Little Haven. So when Kenneth left the house to find his sister, the sun was still just breaking through the thick clouds. Having circled the village of Little Haven, Kenneth's voice was beginning to give out. Esme! Esme! Kenneth cried. She wasn't even in their place under the big oak that stands in the middle of the wheat field near the house. Desperate, he sat under the oak tree for several hours until it began to drizzle. He turned around to the sound of wet footsteps behind him and saw Esme. Kenneth was angry, but his sister's shabby appearance immediately softened his tone. Where have you been? I was looking all over for you.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Come on, the hurricane's coming. Kenneth took his sister's hand and led her toward the house. You're all wet. What happened?
I was attacked by a monster.
Yeah, that's going to be her voice, by the way. Hey, monster.
I ran away from it and got lost.
Now Mom and Dad will think we ran away.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you shouldn't run away from fucking monsters. If we run into the monster, I'll give it a piece of my mind. No need to apologize. Just don't do it again. Jesus Christ. Okay, yeah, that's basically what I said. No need to apologize. Just don't do it again.
But
You're too old for these fairy tales, Esme.
you're the one in denial.
Esme was soaking wet, and her small steps were accompanied by squelching sounds. Kenneth stopped and helped Esme pour the water out of her boots. How did you get so much water in there?
I don't know.
After wrapping her in his jacket, Kenneth rushed down the washed-away trail to the house.
Thanks.
What a nice brother. The way home was riddled with fear of the impending punishment, along with squelching boot noises. It's a good thing that Grandma doesn't know, or who knows what she might think up. Oh yeah, because this is a Russian translation, so what she might think's up.
I agree. Grandma's always had some story in her head.
5 minutes late, and she already imagines a pack of angry dogs or bandits attacking you.
Or that you tripped over a rock in the woods and fell unconscious face first into an anthill.
Oh my god, shut the fuck up. I don't want to talk for you. I set this course. I have to continue it. The conversation lifts their spirits, I think it said.
When is Grandma coming?
I don't know. Probably whenever she and Dad make up.
I miss Grandma.
A heavy silence fell, but it didn't last long.
Do you remember Baloo?
With those words, it was as if she had stabbed Kenneth between the ribs. He remembered. Jesus Christ, what are these kids, grown-ups? That was the name of the dog the Murphy family had buried a couple of years ago. Oh. Bruh, what the... Why are you so sad, though? He died. Kenneth was very fond of Baloo, and his death really hit him hard. And then, for a few months, he slept hugging his old collar. Wimp. At first, Kenneth could burst into tears at any time, so that even at the other side of the pillow, so that even the other side of the pillow wasn't always dry. Jesus. I remember. Change the topic. So obviously this sets the course of the future. I remember. Of course I remember. He's my brother.
Will you give me his collar? It's just hanging on your backpack.
No! And don't you dare touch it. At that moment they had almost reached the plot, surrounded by a fence looking fairly battered after all the years. As soon as they crossed it, something frightened Esme. She froze, pointing her finger toward the shed at the pier. Oh, there's a monster.
Hear that?
What?
There's a monster!
Let's go or we'll get in trouble. As if she had heard something, Esme began to make a whining sound. It's going to be okay, come on.
But he will come at night!
We're gonna be the dummy that hurries home. We're purposefully choosing the not help her. Let's go home. Enough monsters for today. Esme frowned. Esme's unhappy. I bet Mom made your favorite pancakes with jam. Pancakes? Oh, sorry.
Pancakes! Liar!
So you believe in monsters but not in pancakes? Bruh. Kenneth always felt a special responsibility for Esme. One day she hurt her knee and he carried her home for several miles. That is damn near impossible as a child. Even now, Kenneth's heart sank as he saw Esme recklessly walking through the wild grass. Careful, don't cut yourself. On the grass?
Yeah, okay.
The light was on in the living room. They could see the silhouette of people. Esme, inappropriately giggling, commented on the delay.
Someone's in trouble.
If someone hadn't run away from home and dragged me into this, being a dumb bitch. Esme's face momentarily changed, so Kenneth was embarrassed for his words. Yeah, I should have called her a bitch.
I said I was sorry.
But no one was waiting for them. On the doorstep, Kenneth carefully opened the door, looked around, and saw his parents talking to some man in a formal outfit, looking somewhat like a policeman. Thunder rumbled. Oh, it did. I'm sorry we had to do this. Why all of this? I'm not going to do a voice for her. What are we supposed to do? How much longer will you be taking over here? I'm done here. The test results will be tomorrow. It's a routine procedure. You have no cause for worry. Sorry to bother you. Just doing my job. Kenneth had heard only fragments of the conversation when his father noticed him and signaled him to go upstairs to his room with a quick nod. He heard that Dad had problems at work, but for the police to come to their house, this was a first. Kenneth guessed that something had been stolen at Dad's work again, so they checked practically everyone. Kenneth and Esme slipped into the room on the second floor. In their room, there was a glass of milk and a plate of pancakes on the table waiting for them. Kenneth took the wet jacket off Esme, rubbed her hair with a thin blanket, and sat her down at the table. You should eat.
Thank you.
They're quite cold, though. Do you want me to go downstairs and warm them up?
No, they're delicious, thanks. Don't go there. Don't go down there. Sit with me.
Kenneth was afraid of his parents' reaction to their escape. But everything was still quiet. Let's hang the wet dress up to dry.
Thanks.
I thought it's fucking... Oh, he's hanging it. Go to bed. Kenneth covered his sister with a blanket and lay down on his bed. They were both staring blankly at the ceiling until Esme said,
I wish the monster was gone.
It's going to be okay. You need to sleep.
All right.
Esme curled up into a ball and turned to the wall. There was an awkward knock at the door, followed by the equally awkward mother's tone.
Are you okay?
Kenneth looked at Esme. She was almost sleeping. Yep. Behind his mother, he heard Father's quiet voice from downstairs. Don't wake him up.
Good night.
The door closed. Esme rustled in her bed and turned toward Kenneth.
Why didn't they scold us?
I don't know. Because they're not the parents anymore. It seemed that Esme had fallen asleep. He heard his parents talking softly downstairs. Then he heard cabinet doors opening and a kind of softly tinkling. Someone's pissing. It became more quiet. Kenneth was sleepy. He overheard the room door creaking. Kenneth pretended to be asleep. A beam of light spilled onto his bed from the half-open door. A moment later, the door closed gently. Kenneth fell asleep. Thunder rumbled. Kenneth opened his eyes a little. He flinched to the wall out of fright as he saw Esme's shadow in front of him and the light of the lightning flash. She was sitting on the bed, terrified, with her knees pressed to her chest. The door to the room was open. Kenneth ran to her and knelt beside her. Oh. What's the matter? Are you afraid of the thunder?
There was a monster looking for something.
Kenneth was confused, feeling helpless because of his sister's behavior. Usually stories about the monsters didn't go this far. What was the monster looking for? I like that he hasn't asked her what it looks like.
For me, of course, but I hid like this.
Yeah, that got him. She demonstrated covered her eyes with her palms.
Even being this close, he didn't see me. What a stupid fool. Searched through the nightstands, the closet, under the bed, and as if I could fit in there.
You want me to call Mom and Dad? Yo, he killed your mom and dad.
No, don't.
That's a burglar, lady. Kenneth noticed a puddle on the sheet under Esme and read shame in her eyes. Oh my god, she pissed her pants too. Pretending there's nothing there, he moved her to his bed. Why didn't you call parents? Fucking Russians.
I was scared. You and I are already in trouble.
And what happened next?
At some point, he leaned over you, as if he wanted to bite off half of your face with his big toothy jaws. Or to kiss you. Ha!
Kiss?
Well, I didn't see. He attacked me differently.
Oh. So your monster wants to give me a kiss but attacks you. I wonder what new notes are going to add to your diary about the monster. Esme became upset. I didn't even get to say anything. Kenneth gave up. He just sat there for a while waiting for what came next. Esme ran to her bed, lifted the corner of the mattress briskly, took out her diary and put it in Kenneth's hands, as if trying to convince him of something. Kenneth knew about the diary, but Esme always kept it to herself. The book looked worn out and at the same time girly neat. Kenneth carefully held the diary in his hands, appreciating Esme's trust. A bow knot, well done, Kenneth thought, keeping all jokes to himself for the time being.
Read.
Maybe later? He puts the diary on the nightstand. Bro, that monster's looking for that.
You won't laugh, will you?
Esme asked as if she regretted giving away her personal diary. Of course not.
And don't tell anyone.
Esme sat in front of Kenneth with glowing eyes and seemed not to even think about going to sleep. While Kenneth was wondering how to calm Esme down, she continued the conversation first.
Have you ever seen it?
The monster?
Yep.
No, never. Yeah, it's not real. No, I haven't seen it.
And if you had, would you tell anyone?
I don't know.
Why?
Probably because no one would ever believe me.
That's stupid. How come? Why doesn't anyone believe me? I really did see it.
They don't believe you because they haven't seen it. They don't believe you because they haven't seen it. Yeah, of course he says the same thing. Chapter. Murphy's. Kenneth fell asleep from exhaustion while sitting on the floor, but a few minutes later was awoken by Esme.
It's not true.
Kenneth was tired of Esme's antics and was getting angry with her. What's not true?
It's not true that no one saw him. I saw drawings of him in the attic.
What drawings?
The same as in my diary.
What could that mean? Esme defiantly folded her arms and frowned. Yo, she's gonna die. Wait, how did you get into the attic? It has never been opened.
Well, I was careful.
Where did you get the key? Esme handed him Dad's set of keys. What have you done? Where did you get them from? Dad will be furious.
I got them from his closet while you were sleeping.
They heard a noise coming from the shed at the pier. Yo, what the hell? Esme didn't waste time and expressed the most expected thing.
It's a monster! I saw it out the window. It's there again.
Behind the door, they heard their father's rapid footsteps. He ran into the parents' bedroom, which was right next to their room. Kenneth was peeping through the half-open door. Dad took out a hunting rifle and ran down the stairs, slamming the front door behind him. Seemed he was drunk. Kenneth slipped out to the door of the attic and began picking up the right key. I don't know what key it is. No. Well, it's triangular. So probably like one of these two. It's like an old key. Probably this one then. But those other keys are like not designed for this, yeah. Look at that. Brain power. Thunder rumbled. Kenneth unlocked the door to the attic. Where were the keys? In the
box.
Where exactly? Please hurry, Dad's coming. Without waiting for an answer, Kenneth ran into the parents' bedroom, put the keys under one of the tables, and ran back to his room. Mother's voice came from downstairs. Son, come down, please. Kenneth went downstairs. Mom was sitting in a chair next to the TV, broadcasting generic white noise. Judging by the bags under her eyes, she hadn't slept in a while. Ma, is everything okay? Mom looked devastated. She could hardly smile. I wanted to ask you the same thing. You're such a good boy. Kenneth was embarrassed. Come to me. It seemed Mother wanted to say something but couldn't get the words out, so she hugged Kenneth tightly instead, like a rag doll. The front door swung open, and Kenneth took a few steps back. Father came in the living room with the rifle over his shoulder, holding a blood-stained carcass of a fox by the tail. Finally managed to catch this beast. It's been running from me for ages. Dad threw the carcass on the floor in front of Brenda and Kenneth. Fucking dirty fox. Kenneth noticed that the fox was still moving, but he didn't show it. Baloo used to hunt them down. Kenneth went to the fridge, took out a beer bottle, and took a couple of sips. What a fucking scumbag. He was a great dog. He could cling to the throat and not let go to the end. Stop it. Right, Kenneth. You could have learned a lot from... I think the fox is still alive. Yo, should I diss my dad right now? I'm just gonna say, yeah, I think I said, you could have learned a lot from him. Don't get smart with me, boy. Don't yell at him. In a moment of total insanity, the fox abruptly jumped up, made a circle around the first floor, and then fled up the stairs, leaving behind little red skid marks. Father took the rifle and ran upstairs. Bro, he's going straight to the... Kenneth was alone with his mother. Esme told me there was a monster in the shed. I almost believed her. We each have our own little monsters, and sometimes big ones. You too? Me too. It's probably not a fox, or you'd be scared of it. Mother smiled. I'm not afraid of foxes. Why aren't you in bed yet? You've been in your feet since morning. I'm not tired. He heard Father's voice from the second floor. Damn beast. It seems it jumped out the window of the nursery. Father came down the stairs and left the house to search for the wounded fox. Bro, it's shot. Kenneth went up the stairs and saw 4 eyes shining in the darkness of the nursery. He hurried into the room to Esme. She was sitting in the corner holding the wounded fox. Kenneth closed the door tightly and turned on the nightlight. What are you doing? It could bite you. Kenneth reached out to snatch the fox from Esme's hands, but she dodged away, clutching it to her.
She's hurt, and she hid in the corner under the bed. I got her out, and I'm making her better.
How are you doing that?
By whispering nice things to her to take the pain away.
Kenneth turned his attention to the neck of the red monster. Baloo's collar was hanging on it. Yo, what the hell? What have you done? Bitch!
I thought you'd like it.
What the fuck is wrong with you? Give it back! What is wrong with his sister? Kenneth rushed to Esme, but the fox escaped her arms and ran down the stairs probably. Kenneth in despair called out to Father. Dad, it's here! Catch it! Kenneth ran up the stairs and saw that the fox had stopped right in front of his father at the entrance and was making a noise like a growl or a squeal. It has Baloo's collar. Catch it! His father grabbed the fox by the collar and took it off, then grabbed the fox by the scruff of the neck and threw it out after closing the door. I'm not even going to ask how the collar got on its damn neck. Father put the bloody collar on Kenneth's hands. He had a fox bite on his forearm. You're bleeding, let me treat it. This is the most confusing shit I've ever seen. Father left the rifle in the hallway and went to the sink. I won't die, just need to wash it out. His mother went to Kenneth and whispered in his ear, asking him to go to his room. You need sleep. Kenneth went to his room. After entering the room, Kenneth saw Esme sitting on the floor and staring aimlessly out the window. Can't sleep? Dude, are you psychotic, kid? They're all crazy. Kenneth sat down next to her. Dude, she just lost like an animal she liked.
Nope. Why are you sleeping?
Yeah, I can't either. I just want to put it in perspective that this girl was sleeping. She's like 8 years old and just saw an animal bleeding and run into her room, then lost it in like 2 seconds. There's no like tears on her face.
Sorry about the collar. I didn't mean to make you angry.
Never mind. Kenneth showed Esme the collar in his hand.
I feel sad.
For Baloo?
For Baloo too.
Who are you talking about?
Poor Dad.
Why pity him?
I don't know. He always so angry and grumpy.
Esme was about to cry. Like, now you're upset about Dad? Not the fox?
I wouldn't want to be angry and sad. Poor Mom.
Jesus Christ.
And poor you! Poor everyone!
Esme burst into tears. Kenneth rushed to hug her. She's got fucking depression now. It's okay. Don't cry.
But why is he so angry? How come?
Alcoholism. It's all his fault. Maybe something made him that way.
Maybe. I want to sleep, but I can't. Stupid day.
Let's play. I have a riddle for you. If you can't guess, you will try to sleep again. Okay, I guess. What? Sure.
Sure, but if I guess, I'll ask you a riddle too.
What if I don't guess? Esme's brow furrowed, showing a complex thinking process.
Nothing.
I don't know. Deal. Why do lions eat raw meat?
It's easy. They have paws. They can't cook anything.
You've heard this riddle before? Your turn.
Sad and beautiful, but not me.
Is that your riddle?
Yes, it is. Answer me.
Brother. Is it Mom?
Yes, how did you know?
It's an easy riddle.
I guess.
Esme yawned and stretched herself. Go to bed, Esme. Kenneth approached his bed and spread the blanket. Go to bed, it's late. Did nobody address the fact that she peed her bed?
What about you?
I will guard the house from monsters. Kenneth waited for Esme to fall asleep and carefully left the room, closing the door behind him. Chapter Brenda. Kenneth went downstairs to his mother, who was cleaning up the house after the predator's visit. She just told you to go to bed, son. His father, as was his custom, passed out in the chair. Mom, can I help you? No, there's not much left to do, thanks. Let me help. Kenneth grabbed a brush and began to help his mother with the cleaning. So we're gonna clean up this leaf. Yeah, scrub that leaf away. Yeah, scrub that leaf away. We'll scrub that whole of blood away. I wonder if we'll find something underneath this board here, this upraised floorboard. Yeah, look at this immersion here. Thanks. Why are you awake? It's very late. Yes, I know, you told me to go to sleep. I put Esme to bed, but I don't want to sleep just yet. His mother shuddered, like from electric shock, or an unpleasant memory. Esme, how is she? She was crying, told me about the monster again. The monster? Yep, her diary is full of notes about it. She also asked when Grandma was coming. Carrie promised to visit us the other day. Wow, I'm stuttering so bad. Why do you always call Grandma by her first name? She's your mother. It's just like this. I didn't have a mom as a kid. Everyone has a mother. Yes, but it so happens that some kids are separated from their mothers while still very young. Sometimes without even knowing who their mom is. It's terrible. Kenneth's mother was plunged into memories and could not stop herself from continuing her story. I was Esme's age when I was sent to another country. To Australia, to a school for children without parents like me. I suffered there a lot. Wow, her eyes. There were all kinds of monsters and no one needed children. And only when I was 17, Carrie, your grandmother, rescued me by adopting. She had to overcome a lot of difficulties to do it. She is a real mother, but I was already an adult, so I got used to calling her by her name. It was embarrassing to call her Mom. True. That's too bad. I think she'd like that. Mother stroked his hair, his head ruffling his hair. Oh my god. His like bad writing and then me fixing it and then like normal sentences. You're always right. Do you know where the diary is? Esme gave it to me. Turns out she was hiding it under her mattress. Wow. Can I see it, please? I shouldn't. She promised to let me read it. Really? I'm telling the truth. Kenneth quietly entered the room. Esme was sleeping, facing the wall. Kenneth took Esme's diary and went downstairs. Here it is. Thanks. Why don't you go get some sleep? Why don't you lie down, close your eyes, and count to 100, and if you still don't want to sleep, come to me. The fact that the clock in the background just went off. I'll try. Kenneth returned to the room. He looked at Esme's bed but found no trace of the evening incident. He made the bed and lay down. Kenneth fell asleep before and he could even count to 10. The bright light from the window was not able to wake Kenneth, but the noise still alarmed him. When he awoke, the other bed was empty. There was a noise from the yard. Kenneth left the room and went downstairs. His mother was in the kitchen. Her face was tear-stained, but without any emotion. Mom, what happened? Good morning, my boy. What's that noise? Someone called Dad and told him the police were coming. Esme's diary lay in front of her mother. The sound of the boat engine started and metal ringing could be heard in the background. And where's Esme? Have you seen her today? No, I woke up and the bed was empty. Mother hugged Kenneth and whispered softly in his ear, in a nervous, choking voice. She's gone. Please remember yesterday. What do you mean? Yesterday she ran away from home again and I found her. She's dead. She's gone. Esme was found in the water at the pier. When you found out, you ran away from home. But I saw her. Steady noise of the engine came from the pier. Brenda hugged Kenneth even tighter and then pulled away. I love you. Be strong. Whatever happens, give Esme's diary to the people who are coming today. Brenda reached for the rifle that had been there since last night. Your father is a monster. Don't leave the house. She checked if the gun had ammunition and went out to the house toward the pier. Kenneth rushed out to the door. He saw his angry father coming to meet his mother. I want to see what she does. She's going to shoot him. So I stay away. There was a roar of briskly approaching cars and slamming doors nearby. Put the gun down, Brenda. Father was coming closer. Stay back. Stop it. I'll explain. The police ran in and saw the skirmish. Drop your weapons. Father made a few more steps towards Mother. Thunder rumbled, rifles first, then service weapons. Father and Mother fall backwards. Kenneth rushed to his mother. If I got in between him, Mom would still be alive. Poor Esme. What happened? Did Dad drown her? Or did she fall in the water? I think he killed her, to be quite frank. Poor little Esme. Her little kicking boots there. She didn't deserve all that. I was too harsh on her. I called her bitch like 4 times. That was a good game though. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. For sure. I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.